What an interesting feature right there regarding the current situation in Naivasha, and it continues to happen to be a reality for the people there as the water level continues to rise. Now, of course, as we continue to have this conversation about climate change, now the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, that's UNFCCC, they launched the Conference of the Parties COP as the body responsible for decision-making on the implementation of the commitments adopted by countries to tackle climate change. Now, the COP is attended by all countries that have signed and ratified the convention. Currently, there's 198 countries that are going to be participating in the UNFCCC. COP30 is the 30th annual United Nations Climate Summit. When and where? Now, we're going to be telling you all these details from the 10th to 21st of November 2025 in Belém, Brazil, a major city in the Amazon region. Now, why exactly is it important? Well, this is because it is a crucial milestone for the 2015 Paris Agreement. It's also a chance for the world to course correct and also strengthen efforts to limit global warming to the critical target of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Key issues on this agenda that will be focused on includes three major pillars, each needing urgent action. The first one being new climate plans, that's the NDCs. Now, countries are actually expected to present their updated nationally determined contributions. That's exactly what an NDC is. And these are the national action plans detailing how exactly they're going to be planning to cut the emissions by 2035. Now, the collective NDCs must be ambitious enough to keep the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal alive. Number two, adaptation and resilience. A major focus is helping communities and countries adapt to climate change impacts that are already being felt like extreme weather. Negotiators aim to finalize a framework to be able to track the progress on the global goal on adaptation, that's GGA. Of course, the third pillar is all about climate finance, which you're going to be seeing very soon. And of course, this particular pillar is known as climate finance because developing countries are now under pressure to be able to significantly scale up the negotiations, as well as to scale up financial support for developing nations to help them transition to other clean energy sources and also adapt to climate impacts. Now, as we speak, the discussions will also include the delivery of committed funds, and also when it comes to defining the new, that is 2025 finance goal, the new post-2025 finance goal. So these are the key issues on the agenda that will be focused. And of course, each of these need urgent action. So as I mentioned, the first one being the new climate plans, that's the NDCs. Each and every country is going to be presenting their updated nationally determined contributions, how exactly they're going to try and be ambitious enough to be able to keep the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal alive. That is to bring the temperature down by 1.5 degrees Celsius, that is in each country. Apart from that, we also have adaptation and resilience. And of course, a major focus is going to be on communities and especially in the individual countries on how exactly they're going to be trying to impact the global climate, that is the global climate change goals that are already being felt in each and every country as we speak. Global warming is a reality, and negotiators are going to be aiming to finalize a specific framework as to what they're going to be doing when it comes to tracking the progress on the global goals on adaptation. That's the GGA. And lastly, as I mentioned, the climate finance, where developed countries are also going to be under extreme pressure to significantly scale up their support for developing countries to be able to help them transition to clean energy and also to adapt to climate impacts. So discussions currently, as we speak, will be happening. That is from the 10th to the 21st. And of course, countries are preparing as of now because this right here is one of the biggest global conference that's going to be happening. That is the Conference of the Parties COP in Brazil. And that's Belém, a major city in the Amazon region. It's going to be happening for 11 days consecutively. And yes, this right here is going to be something that every news channel, every blogger, every climate activist will be keeping an eye on. I'm sure we're also going to be having representatives from Kenya who will be going down to Brazil and also giving us the latest updates on what exactly is being discussed on each and every day and how exactly the COP30 is going to be handled when it comes to trying to track the progress on the global goal on adaptation moving forward in each and every country. As I mentioned earlier on, there's 198 countries that will be a part of this. And of course, in 2015, the Paris Agreement, this particular agreement mentions that each and every country is going to try and bring down temperatures, that is 1.5 degrees Celsius. And as we speak, there's a lot that's being done because each country which will be participating in the UNFCCC has its own agenda, has its own goals, has its own contribution that it's going to be presenting on this particular days that is in COP in Brazil. So we'll be keeping you updated on what exactly is going to be happening from November 10th to November 21st right here on Green Fix every Thursday. We'll make sure that we bring to you the latest. And of course, we tell you what exactly it is that is being discussed in the global front.